Okay, let's dive right into this explainer by tackling a frustration literally everyone in the business world has felt at some point. You spend months rolling out a shiny new analytics dashboard, only to watch it completely and totally fail to make an impact. We've all been burned by a bad dashboard, right? Well, today we're going to unpack exactly why that happens and, more importantly, how to actually fix it.
Here's the thing. When a data project totally flops, it is rarely, and I mean rarely, the software's fault. Whether you're a Power BI shop, Tableau, whatever, there's an entire chain of practical constraints working against you, like your IT guy simply saying no to server access. It's those behind-the-scenes factors that actually make or break your success. To really wrap our heads around this, we're looking at a complete map of the hidden pipeline. It shows us that actually pulling off a successful analytics project, it means surviving a literal gauntlet of obstacles. You've got to navigate access limits, overcome massive skill gaps, and battle pure adoption resistance long before your data can guide real, tangible action. We're going to use this map as our guide today.
So, here's our game plan. First up, the analytics tool myth. Second, input and direction problems. Then we break it down chronologically. Phase 1, before development. Phase 2, during development. Phase 3, after delivery. And finally, we'll hit the true measure of success.
All right, let's jump straight into section 1, the analytics tool myth.
Look, if you're only focusing on building a pretty dashboard, you're totally missing the boat. Building reports just isn't enough anymore. A successful project depends on so much more than just the final visual output. The whole point is turning insight into actual business action. It's entirely about what happens before that output is generated and what actions are taken after people look at it.
Which brings us to section 2, input and direction problems. Now, check out the massive contrast between these two overarching traps. On one side, you've got input problems. We're talking garbage data, stuff scattered everywhere across a dozen sources, or IT locking down access so tight you can't breathe. Your reporting just won't reflect reality. On the flip side, we have direction problems. This is where clear KPIs and business connections are totally missing. If no one can define the objective, the analyst ends up building on pure assumptions. Timelines stretch out forever, and you get a terribly weak business fit. Digging a little deeper, our source material actually nails down exactly 10 distinct challenges stemming from these input and direction issues. 10 roadblocks that form this completely hidden pipeline of failure just waiting to derail your project at any given moment. To really beat them, we have to look at these challenges chronologically across a typical project's lifespan. We start at the foundational setup, way before a dashboard is even a glimmer in your eye. Then we move into the messy build phase and wrap up with the aftermath of delivery. Let's start at the very beginning with section 3, phase 1, before development. Before a single line of code is written, you've got to settle 4 massive hurdles. First up, poor data quality, because incomplete data gives you garbage insights. Second, data scattered across sources. Organizing that is a nightmare. Third, unclear objectives. If you don't know the goal, what are you even building? And fourth, data accessibility. You absolutely must consolidate your sources, define your KPIs, and secure IT access early. Otherwise, you're literally building a skyscraper on quicksand. Like our source flat out says, if the data isn't complete or accurate, the output simply cannot be trusted. Think about data accessibility alone. If IT shuts down direct connections, you're stuck doing manual downloads, endless copy-pasting, repeated updates. It's awful. That manual intervention guarantees your insights are going to be prone to human error and completely out of touch with reality. Now, if your project somehow miraculously survives phase 1, buckle up for section 4, phase 2, during development. This is where real-world IT constraints hit you right in the face. Suddenly, you're juggling 4 new headaches. Challenge 5, making your chosen tool actually fit your specific data and the client's budget. Challenge 6, scalability issues. Giant datasets slowing dashboards down to a total crawl. Challenge 7, a lack of skilled resources. And challenge 9, data governance and security, because direct connections instantly make IT sweat over system slowdowns and control. And hey, we can't forget the human element of the build itself. If you don't have the actual human talent, the skilled resources who really know how to navigate the complexities and future growth of a tool like Power BI, everything just grinds to a halt. The organization simply won't be able to handle the project, no matter how incredible the software claims to be. Okay, so you wrangled the bad data, survived the IT gauntlet, and actually built the thing. Enter Section 5, Phase 3, After Delivery. You'd think the hard part is over, right? Nope. Now you face the final two challenges. Challenge 8, Resistance to Change. Will your employees actually adopt this, or will they default to their old, comfortable ways? You know that one manager who absolutely refuses to let go of their personal Excel spreadsheet? Yeah, we've all been there. And finally, Challenge 10, actually turning that new insight into action.
This is the absolute make or break moment. A gorgeous, perfectly functional dashboard is frankly 100% useless if the resulting planning doesn't perform well and drive actionable business strategy. The report only matters if it connects to the real world. If no one acts on the data, well, what was the point? You navigated that entire hidden pipeline for absolutely nothing.
Which leads us perfectly into our final section, Section 6, the true measure of success. So, if we can't judge a win just by pointing at a shiny new dashboard, which, as we've seen, is really just a tiny sliver of the battle, what is the real criteria here? How do we actually know if we succeeded? The true measure of success means checking off this entire checklist across the hidden pipeline. You have to ask yourselves, was the data actually reliable? Did we have a clear objective from day one? Is the access workable without constant manual copy-pasting? Is the tool sustainable for future growth? And the big one, can the organization actually use it to support real, impactful decisions? I want to leave you with this somewhat provocative thought about your own organization's hidden data pipeline. Think back, right now, to the last major analytics rollout you experienced. Did it actually guide real, tangible business decisions? Or is it just sitting there, stuck, and leaking somewhere in that hidden pipeline? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this helps you map out a much clearer path for your next big data project.